Dun dun dun! It's turning into a bit of a miserable Monday. Certainly it's never nice waking up to a rainy day and noticing the cryptocurrency market has sold off overnight. But why has it done that? Don't worry guys, we've got you covered. We're going to be breaking all that down in this daily market update. I've had to jump off Twitter this morning because of the horrendous takes. I love Twitter. I think it's both the best and the worst place for information. But those ding-dong kind of crypto Twitter accounts out there really just don't have a clue what's going on. So we'll break everything down for you in this video. Everything that's happening today has everything with what's taken place and came out of China with DeepSeek, how that is challenging Nvidia's kind of hegemony. And ultimately, Nvidia is a large part of the S&P 500. That's causing a sell-off, which ultimately has contagion for the stock market more broadly. And also, we know the cryptocurrency space is very correlated to that and a lot more leveraged typically than that. I mean, we've seen nearly $1 billion in terms of liquidations over the past 24 hours. I'm not one of those. Hopefully you guys aren't either. Let the ding-dongs trade or try to trade. They'll never show you a P&L. You've not seen one P&L from all those million, hundreds of thousand Twitter accounts that claim to be crypto traders. And it's for a reason, guys. But we'll break it all down, hopefully. Do not fear, Allincrypto is here. Welcome back, guys, for another jam-packed daily market update. You know, it's never nice waking up on a Monday. It's a miserable day here in Scotland. And the cryptocurrency market has sold off. But why has it sold off? Well, let's take a look at all of this. Nvidia falls 12% in pre-market trading as China's DeepSeek triggers global tech sell-off. US technology firms plunged. You're also seeing this in semiconductors and things like this, things related to AI. In pre-market trading as Chinese startup DeepSeek sparks concerns over competitiveness in AI and America's lead in the sector, triggering a global sell-off. DeepSeek launched a free, and this is the sort of kicker here because NVIDIA's products are very expensive. They're not free. This is open sourced, large language model in late December, claiming it was developed in just 2 months at a cost of $6 million. Compared to billions, hundreds of billions that are going into NVIDIA and some of the other sort of AI-related, semiconductors, these sort of things. So the developments have stoked questions about the large amounts of money big tech companies have been investing in AI models and data centers. Always want to warn people in regards to things coming out of China. We're taking it at face value, but there is an element of trust here. So really broad level overview of what's going on here is NVIDIA kind of has in the US a monopoly on the AI sector and the kind of components that make it up. Semiconductors, obviously NVIDIA is a chip manufacturing, GPU chip manufacturing company. And the fact that DeepSeek are claiming to do something pretty spectacular or on par with NVIDIA for a fraction of a price has really kind of upset the order of markets. Certainly NVIDIA is the largest company in the world, and you can imagine the contagion that has for the stock market more broadly, which we'll talk about, and of course the cryptocurrency space. So it's going to be an interesting US Open, which will likely have taken place by the time most of you are watching this video. This is from Walter Bloomberg. NVIDIA, the DeepSeek sell-off. Analyst at JP Morgan, Sandeep, suggests the AI investment cycle might be overhyped. DeepSeek's efficiency could lead to a more efficient future. We've got Jeffries, so this is Edison Lee, proposed 2 strategies post DeepSeek: continue investing in computing power or focus on efficiency, potentially reducing 2026's AI capex. Contrasting views. This is from Bear Stein. Believe the panic is overblown. Maintains outperforming rating on NVIDIA and Broadcom. Broadcom's a stock that I actually looked at with my Patreons yesterday to show you how markets break out, obviously referring to the total cryptocurrency market. This is from Citi. Acknowledges a challenge to US dominance, but emphasizes the advantage of access to advanced chips, maintaining a buy on NVIDIA. This is from Raymond James. Suggests that if DeepSeek's innovation are adopted, training costs could decrease, questioning the need for large GPU clusters. And you've got the likes of Market Dynamics, Cantor, sees DeepSeek's development as bullish for compute demand. Now, we're in some compute cryptos, very interestingly, suggesting increased rather than decreased need for GPUs, advocating to buy NVIDIA on the dips. Now, it's very interesting. I actually have a higher price target for NVIDIA based on this pattern here. It is looking to open, it closed on Friday at 142, and it's looking to open at 126. So what's that in percentages? Remember, NVIDIA is a stock that we've been very right on for a long time, and I actually think it's going to continue at least getting to the technical target that we have. So it's about 11% down. If you look at the percentage NVIDIA is, this is the composite of the S&P 500, but it's in far more indexes than this. NVIDIA, largest stock in the world, makes up 6.9% of the S&P 500. So you can imagine the ramifications that this is going to have on the broader markets. And remember, the cryptocurrency sector, this is Bitcoin in a nice, horrible sort of S&P red, rather confusingly. Let's change that into a nice Bitcoin orange. You can imagine, you can see the correlation here between the S&P 500, which I think is still going higher in my opinion, and Bitcoin. You can imagine the ramifications this had for the cryptocurrency space. So when you looked at your portfolio this morning, you would have got a bit of a shock. Personally, guys, I'm buying the dip. I think I've done enough homework. I think I have enough belief in what I'm looking at. You know, Bitcoin dominance gaining a bit of traction. I'll have to look at that with Patreons later. To be confident of this and to actually see this, you're always going to have catalysts in the market. This is one. Is it overblown? Is it underblown? You know, I think this is introducing a very interesting dynamic, but certainly from what's happening with the cryptocurrency space's point of view is you have a challenger to NVIDIA's hegemony that's doing things at a fraction of a price and kind of really bringing into question these AI companies and their valuations. That's causing the stock market to sell off, which is ultimately causing the cryptocurrency market to sell off. And you've got to remember, in the past 24 hours, there's been nearly 24 hours wrecked, and you ding-dongs deserve it. How dare you think you can trade the cryptocurrency market with leverage? Who on earth do you think you are? Do you think you've earned that right? I don't think you have. And if you're following these ding-dong-alongs on Twitter, a lot of ding-dongs going on in this video, that have hundreds of thousands of followers and have never shown one P&L over any kind of time history, you're following liars. And I've been trading for a long time. I only trade Forex and the traditional markets and might take a trade in crypto every now and then with absolutely minimal leverage, if any. Nearly 1 billion people got liquidated due to the contagion, and they deserve it, in my opinion. So when we look at the space more broadly, I'm still very happy with it. I think we're on the cusp of major breakouts for the total cryptocurrency market cap, excluding the top 10, total 3 and total 2. This is what you do when you reach all-time highs. You pull back. This is going to set up for broad continuation eventually. We've just got to get over these sort of humps and hurdles. Last night with Patreons, I actually looked at a scenario for the Dixie. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with a week of rate cuts ahead of us from other central banks, and not, as of right now, the central bank, the Fed, but we'll see what the Dixie does and its reactions. Certainly, if it's not the Dixie gaining strength, is going to be very telling. Some sort of more positive news is this is digital asset flows. I was lucky enough to interview the president at 21 Shares today, so we'll release that for you guys later on. Do become a subscriber. Check us out on all the platforms, guys. It's days like today where we're worth our weight in gold, because we can sort through the nonsense and kind of give it to you as it is. But we saw $1.9 billion in inflows, which is great. Digital asset investment products saw inflows totaling $1.9 billion last week. Remember, in the past 24 hours, we've nearly wiped out $1 billion due to liquidations. Likely as a result of recent presidential executive orders that proposed the initial initiation of a strategic Bitcoin asset in reserves, or reserve asset in Bitcoin, In the altcoin space, Ethereum rebounded with inflows of 205 million. That's decent for Ethereum. While XRP saw further flows of 18.5 million. Remember, it doesn't have anything approved in the US yet, but that is coming. I think there's 19 Bs being filed. The most notable flows amongst the small digital assets were Solana, Chainlink, and Polkadot, with inflows of 6.9, 6.6, and 2.6. So that's very interesting. And you can see XRP doing very, very well. So we kind of wanted to finish on a bit of a high. I still think the crypto space is in good standings. Let's perhaps take a look at Bitcoin. It's just range bound right now, unfortunately, guys. But it will get through this. I do truly believe that. You know, I ultimately thought this would lead to a break to the upside, this little squeeze that we're having here. We're just range bound. You know, we could chop around here for a while. Eventually, you'll push through it. And I think, you know, happy sort of grabbing bargains when it comes to the altcoin sector. So really, to summarize, to quiet all the noise down and the bad takes, you've got a challenge to what makes up the majority of the stock market, bringing loads of questions. The markets don't like uncertainty. It's that simple. There's contagion in the cryptocurrency space, which of course, people still haven't learnt their lesson. The same people getting liquidated today, by the way, would have been liquidated many times before. The definition of an idiot is somebody that continues to do the same things over and over again. And why am I being so harsh and horrible? Because I care. I don't want you guys playing with the crypto space. I've watched the best traders I know fail when it comes to trading crypto with leverage. Because it's just that game, you know? And when you're following these people, just ask to see a P&L over any amount of time. You will never get one. The trading game is as fake as the guy who's tested up to his eyeballs telling you how to get fit. And I don't care about upsetting people saying that. You know, we're not here to make friends necessarily, although it's great to do so. We're here to hopefully help people and deliver a message and keep people on the right side of the markets. I still think this is a long market, but there's this catalyst that's arose, and there's contagion, and there's leverage sort of flush outs. But the broader trajectory of this space, guys, is, you know, this flush out, I think, is just that. So that's it from me, guys. Have a magical Monday. Try not to let this price action affect you too much. If you want to join a Patreon, link in the description. Do go catch up on yesterday's meeting. You know, why we do a Sunday meeting is to cover the sort of big 1,000-foot view of the space and the markets more broadly. But I'm going to leave you on that note, guys. Lots of content coming out for you this week. A hell of a lot, including multiple interviews. And I'll see you all in the next one. So that's the story, guys. I'll see you all soon.